Hi guys, I got Gracie here with me. We're just hanging out, and before we go further with the training and stuff, I think it's really important that as much as I train her, that I spend some time training you guys. So, you know, it's one of those things where everybody all across has dogs and have had dogs forever. So it's something that like everybody's familiar with, but we don't always break it down to exact science to discover like what makes what happen, in dog training. So I want to start at the top and I want to highlight some things for you guys, some key concepts and key words that I think is going to be really critical in understanding what's happening with her in training and how to understand it, and then therefore apply it when it's your turn, when you come for her lessons, and especially when you guys get her back at home, right? All of dog training happens during every single interaction that you are having with your dog. I'm going to say that again. Every single interaction you have with your dog is a moment where your dog is actually learning from you. That could be at 6 a.m. when you're still groggy, you just got out of bed and you just want to let her go potty, but she learns that, oh, I'm in a rush, I want to go out this door, so if I jump on the door, it'll make you hurry up and open the door. So she jumps on the door, somebody opens the door. Now all of a sudden you have taught this dog through that one simple interaction unintentionally, oh, every time I jump at something, that door will open. So understanding that every single interaction that you're having with your dog is actually teaching your dog something or another is really key. It's a key concept to understand so you can start manipulating those interactions, right? So what happens when a dog comes to dog training is that the trainers, myself and my trainers, they all understand that every interaction counts. So what starts to happen is from moment one, day one, even when we're not actively training the dog, because the interactions are happening the way they are, the dog is already beginning to learn stuff, right? Sorry, I just didn't want her to rip any of it off. So every interaction counts. How we interact with the dog determines the outcome of that interaction. The dog will always have a mind of her own and want to do whatever pleases the dog, right? And the dogs don't really know or care about what we want in our society, in our culture, and how we want it to be, right? So it's up to us to help the dogs understand. So every interaction counts. So what we start doing when we actively start training the dogs is we start showing the dogs that the training is happening in every interaction. So we start showing the dog, some of my interactions with you are going to be to label behaviors you've done successfully, and I want to label them correctly, so I will say yes. Yes is always associated with the reward, so therefore the dog starts understanding every time I get a yes told to me, it happened because of a good behavior, right? When the dog gets the yes told for good behavior, that increases the likelihood of that good behavior happening again, all right? So say the same way, let's say I come home from work and the dog is excited to see me and the dog jumps, right? If she jumps and I engage her, she knows that, oh, jumping will start my engagement with mom and dad. On the flip side of it, we don't want her to jump to get her attention. We want her to come and sit for our attention. So you kind of saw us, we were already preconditioning her. Sitting will get you good result, right? Now, in this part of our training, part of our interaction is going to become some kind of a negative communication. We have to be able to communicate what behaviors are negative, like the jumping. So we don't want to yell at the dog. I mean, we don't want to be like mean to the dog for the dog to understand that the jumping is unwanted, but we have to install lines of communication that help the dog understand that. So going into the next stage of training, we're going to teach her how to understand no. And we're going to do that with a couple of different ways, right? At first, we're going to use the leash to help guide her through the process of what no means. And then later on, once she understands the leash fluently, we're going to overlay the e-collar to continue it off leash, or to get her back to us when she's off leash from us. Now, I'm saying all of this because we know that she's sort of a sensitive dog, you know, and she's energetic, she's sensitive. So we have to know how we communicate no to her is really going to be important. I don't want her to think the wrong thing when we're telling her no. So we don't want to be raising our voice and yelling. We don't want to be overly harsh. We don't want to be hurting her in any kind of a way. But with all those things aside, we still have to have a system in which we're saying and able to deliver the negative communication, right? So we're going to talk a little bit. We're going to do a little bit of that training here, right here on the camera here, so you guys can see the beginnings of what it looks like to be told no. I don't know what she's doing, but I think at this time we're going to go ahead and start. Come on, buddy. Let me get off your leash. You're silly. Come on. So a lot of times people have preconceived notions on how dogs get told no. And come here, you. All right. So first thing in a dog understanding what no means is that they first have to understand what my tools mean. In this case, it's my voice and my leash that are going to be in active. You know, it's going to be active, right? So for me, the first thing I want a dog to know is right now I'm an anchor to her on the leash. She just doesn't care what the leash is doing or saying. The first thing I want to do is give her some awareness that there's something important that can happen if you pay attention to what's going on the leash, okay? So the way we start doing that is when she starts going that way, I'll give a couple bumps. Yes, good girl. Where's my food? Here's my food. Now, if you notice the couple bumps that I'm doing, she does not even aware that she's being bumped. It's so gentle and it's so light. But what's happening is she's receiving a physical and tactile response, right, on her neck there. So again, one bump. Yes, good girl. This time she's starting to put the pieces together. She took 2 bumps, and as soon as she turned around, she realized, oh, wait a minute, Dad was trying to get my attention so he can give me something. And this is kind of the beginnings of it. Couple bumps. Yes, good girl. And what these bumps are designed to do is get her attention back on me. That's the whole process, okay? That's the whole thing at first. So as we go around, come on, buddy. Come on, baby. Let me get untangled. Good job. Come on. Come on. Good girl. You might have to help me here. So she goes there. Bumps. Yes. Good girl. There you go. Good job. Good girl, buddy. Get her a little attention here. Same thing with the bumps, couple light bumps. Yes, good girl. And all I'm trying to teach her is you don't always have to hear my voice to turn around and come to me, right? You need to be able to tell, like, okay, something's going on that leash. Whoever's holding that leash needs my attention. I need to turn around and look there. I need to be able to guide her through life using some kind of a method. Yes, good girl. There you go. Good job. And I know I started this whole thing by saying we're going to teach her the meaning of no, and this is where all of this is to get to this point. No doesn't have an equal translation in dog language. So instead of a no for a dog, what I like to tell them is let's pick a different behavior, okay? And this is the beginning of me changing her mind from one behavior to another behavior. And the fact that she changes her mind is what I'm paying her, okay? So in this silly example here, if she tries to go that way, I'm changing her mind by giving her the bumps. Yes. She turns around to look at me, and now I have a way to get her attention from going that way, change her direction to come to me this way, no matter what direction it is. Yes, good girl. Good girl. Come on. Let's go, buddy. Okay. One more time that way. Yes, good girl. And so she's not stupid. She's already like, wait, last time I went to go to Laura over there, you gave me bumps, and that bumps meant I couldn't go that way, and the bumps meant that I had to come to you. So why would I go ahead and do that again? And this is kind of what I'm talking about, that dogs really understand. I know, baby, I'm just not talking to you right now. I'm talking to the camera. She doesn't understand why I'm talking to the camera or what the camera even is. So, you know, that's why, look at her now. We need methods to get the dog's attention, even if the dog closes her ears. So that way we have a hope of changing her direction or her mind from one thing to another, okay? And this is the beginning of a dog understanding what no means. And a guidance system like this is super critical for every single dog, especially one that's a German Shepherd mix that's gonna have, you know, suspicion in there and other decisions that she's going to want to make. So if she decides, like she was at the eval or when you guys came to drop her off, that, oh, I'm going to start barking at something random over there, you need a way to, because when she's barking like that, she's not paying attention with her ears anymore. You need to be able to reach out and touch her and be like, hey, dude, I'm talking to you, pay attention, turn around and come back to me. And this is the beginning of it, okay? So if you guys have any questions on the bumping and how the whole no process works, please let me know. I tried my best to explain it. It's really hard talking to a camera. I appreciate you guys. Okay, bye.